For the last couple weeks, this truck has been doing this idle drop thing. Whenever you come up to a stop, you'll come up to a stoplight and it'll go from like 650, 700 RPM and it'll drop down to like 400 and it'll surge back up. Sometimes it'll die at the intersection. No check engine light set, because by the time you get to where you're going, shut the key off and then turn the key back on, it resets it and it doesn't see it a second time until the vehicle has been driven for a while and you never get a code. But I was able to hook up a scanner to it, and I hooked up my scanner and I found the pending code was P0022. And what's common with these is the VCT solenoids. So I got 4 of them. They're all the same part number. P0022 is the driver's side solenoid. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this valve cover off, and this is the first you'll see with... I've got about 6,500 miles. I went a little extra. I know that's against my policy. I shouldn't, but I went about 6,500 miles on this oil, and I'm pulling it out today to put some new Valvoline Restore and Protect. So now we'll get to see what this looks like now, and then we'll do it again in the future. Just trying to pry up on it to get the seals to get past where they're supposed to be. It's going to be kind of tough. I'm going to let me do this with 2 hands instead of recording with this one. Let's see what I got going on here. I'm stuck right here, corner. Overall, it's pretty clean. What I'm worried about is something actually being wrong with the phaser itself. So I'm gonna try to I'm going to go ahead and pull these 8 mils out, pull these 2 out on this side and replace them. Pretty clean. And this is 6,500 miles on that Valvoline Restore and Protect. We don't have a before, so unfortunately I can't share that with you. Let's hook this one off. I'm going to put the... I get this other one off. They're just 8 millimeters. They slide right out. They look rough. They definitely look rough. A little varnish buildup probably inside the thing. Now I'm going to try to turn the camshaft and see if something's wrong with the camshaft. Or I should say the VCT solenoid. Was able to actually get a big crescent wrench on this cam lobe and turn this back and forth, and both of these phasers are locked in with the camshaft. So that tells me the phaser is not my problem, and the timing chain, everything down in the front, looks actually pretty good. So we're not going to mess with that. We're just going to replace the VCT solenoids and we're going to go, and that's it. No problem. And there are the 2 new solenoids on this side installed. And I'm going to put everything back together now. The valve cover gasket is reusable. It was never leaking, so I don't see the point of replacing it. Could I? Sure I could. But when I go back together, I'm going to put a little dab of silicone in this corner here where the front cover meets the head. And this corner here as well, I'm going to redo these 2. I'm going to clean them off and re-silicone it. Just some black or ultra gray will work. On the back side of this valve cover, there's a Christmas tree clip back here. It is a pain in the butt to deal with. See this right here? And there's a hole back here that it goes in. Some people just leave them off, but I don't like them hanging, dangling around. So I put it back where it goes. So that one's back where it goes. And then I start working my way around this harness. I pull the whole harness back. The injector, you don't have to do that, but I do it because I want it out of the way. And then what I'll do is I'll start slowly going back through and connecting every single thing back in that I know needs to be connected. There's that injector. And then there's another injector right behind it. There's another injector here. And another injector. And then I'll go through and push my clips in the spots where they belong. A little Christmas tree, zip, you know, these things here. That one's in. That one broke. That one's in. This one. That one's in. That one's in. That one's in there. I put all my ignition coils back in. Locking tab. Sorry. Now my dipstick. Eight millimeter bolts back in. The ignition coils. Tighten all those down, put the airbox and stuff back on. PCV connections here. Start the vehicle up. Okay, everything is put back together. All the bolts are tight, all the lines are snapped in, all the connectors are back together. Let's start it up. Okay, start it up really quick. And RPM is coming down little by little. Let's see how it reacts. So it's very stable now. Before, when you put it in drive, it dropped down to about 450, 500 and chill there for a second before it would come back up. And now it's sitting up around 650 in drive. That's where it's supposed to be. I think we got it. It's not blurping down like it was before. It's staying steady right where it's... I like it. That was it. Because it wouldn't run this smooth like this the last couple weeks, with that solenoid starting to act up. I'm sure there's a bunch of varnish and stuff inside it from whoever owned the vehicle before, didn't change the oil enough, and it just kind of finally caught up. Or that Valvoline Restore and Protect started cleaning what was gummed up inside the solenoid and broke it loose. But anyhow, they claimed that after 4 oil changes, you're like 90% deposit free in your engine, so we'll see.